And hello there.
Hello, hi, Adam. Good evening to you. I think good morning
Good
to you.
afternoon.
Good afternoon
No,
to
it's the
you.
afternoon now. But however, good evening to you over there in the
Thank you.
Philippines. And
Yeah,
hello to everyone else out there.
to all our watchers. Hello. We're going live again, and it's our
Always
fourth.
live.
Yeah, it's our fourth live stream. So yeah, you can watch us on Facebook and YouTube.
Hope
So
you
yeah,
guys have been enjoying it because we were talking about it earlier, weren't we, Raven? I'm enjoying
yes,
this a hell of a lot.
yes. I'm also enjoying it, and it also helps me practice my English a lot.
Yeah, you've got I don't know, a B, no, A minus.
A minus.
Keep at it. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah,
How's your week been?
uh we're bracing for a typhoon, but I think the typhoon is left already.
Excellent. Did
They're
you do anything
sending.
for Halloween? Probably not,
No,
obviously, but
not
watch anything.
really. No, we just stayed here at home because yeah, it's scary to go out because of the
Mm,
wind and strong. What they call this?
yeah.
It's raining. It was raining, so yeah, just stayed inside. How about
Yeah,
you?
same with me. Yeah, and I've just been spending the week filling in a application for a film production. Basically, what's it called? The Imagine Impact. They're basically accepting feature film ideas. I think they accept pilots as well, but I'm only doing feature films. And
Oh,
they've got like 4 different venues throughout the whole year. And the previous 2, I didn't have any scripts that applied for it, but this recent one is for a thriller. They want female-led thrillers, so I've been working on submitting my application to that. So I spent this morning filming a 30-second elevator pitch, pretty much same setup,
mhm.
although I was wearing a shirt, so I looked a little bit smarter. And just basically pitching my idea. And I've got the deadline for it is tomorrow evening, I
Okay.
believe. So it's very soon, but I've just been working on it, getting that ready. But that's about it really, and getting ready for our podcast.
Mm. Good luck for you to that.
Thank you, and good luck with
Uh,
the typhoon.
yeah, and there's another one coming actually. So
Yeah,
yeah, we just brace another. We just survived one, then we're going to brace for another one.
yeah. Oh dear. Yeah,
Yeah,
strap yourself in.
yeah. So yeah, I'll teach you one Tagalog word before we start with our guest. So,
All right, you're probably going to grade me on that one then.
so kamusta nga? Kamusta is
Comusta,
yes. Kamusta means how are you?
comusta.
Yes, kamusta.
No,
It means how are you?
comusta.
Yes.
Answer the question.
Yeah.
I'm asking you, how are you?
Oh, yeah, I'm doing
Yeah,
good.
you can answer in Tagalog.
Sorry. Oh, okay
Doesn't
naman.
matter.
Okay naman ako. Yeah. So yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't pick it up.
Never
Yeah.
mind.
Yeah. Sorry about that. And yeah, our guest for today is one of I knew him from our school in AAU. He's also a
Um,
filmmaker.
although you had classes with him, I was
Mm,
I was in the same time as him, but we never had the same classes.
I
But anyway,
just
feel free to introduce him.
yeah.
You know him more than me.
Yeah, we were part of the AAU Academy Awards. What do you call this? Multimedia Awards. Sorry. So yeah, uh, I want to introduce Mr. Juan Davis, filmmaker also.
Hey, how's it going? Thanks for having me.
Pleasure.
Good pleasure.
Welcome aboard.
Yes. So yeah, how are you, Juan?
I'm doing great. Yeah, it's like 4:30 in the morning, and just trying not to like.
Have you drunk your coffee
I was going to
already?
say I've got tea myself, but do you have
Oh,
like a bucket load of coffee? Or something?
I will have a sip of that a little bit later.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we met at AAU. We met in a very uh, nice event. So,
Mhm.
so how was it? How was your? Can you introduce yourself and how was your? How was your career doing?
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm Juan Davis. Yeah, I'm film director, filmmaker, slash. I would say adjunct professor and producer. I actually have done quite a few films. The film, one of my most notable films, I would say, is a short film called Rebel Child, which I got into like 17 film festivals across the country as well as abroad as well. I've done like quite a few different films. I'm really focused a lot more on like horror, on the horror genre. But I do like dip into like a lot of other genres as well. So I've done like dramas, documentaries, everything. Done like a lot of shorts. Still trying to like really burst into the feature scene, but you know, it's a lot difficult right now in this time and climate. But yeah. And
Well,
also,
the advantage of lockdown, you can at least write the scripts.
oh yeah. You definitely can write the scripts because I got an opportunity to go ahead and like take and clean one of my scripts up that I had been writing.
I've been doing the same, yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of stuff's changed since this whole pandemic out here in the U.S. But and also like I'm a producer right now. I'm a producer at Apple, former producer at Google, Google Developer Studios. Well, I guess we'll go into that a little bit later.
Yes.
But I'm from like Virginia. I'm like from a really small country town where there's like a bunch of farms and things of that nature. So that's a little bit about me, I guess.
So what you mentioned about horror, do you have any certain subgenres of horror? Because I'm personally a big fan of sci-fi horror. Do you do anything like supernatural horror or gothic horror or slasher horror?
I would probably say more like urban horror, if you know what genre that is, like urban horror. I'm sort of like Get Out. Like if you've seen like Jordan Peele's Get Out movie, sort of like where I kind of flip the whole African American ordeal into like a horror film. I've been working on a lot of those lately. So
Yeah.
Nice one.
Yes. Is it hard to do a horror genre? Because I haven't tried any horror genre yet.
Well, actually, I would probably say horror is like one of the easier genres to do. It's because it's a lot easier to scare people than it is to make them laugh.
Many directors usually use horror as a starting point, don't they?
Oh yeah. It's a lot, like I would say, a lot easier to scare people. Yeah.
I haven't
fun
tried
as well.
Yeah, it's fun too. Fun to scare people. Yeah, I've always been I've always liked horror films ever since I was like a little kid. I used to watch Nightmare on Elm Street and
Same here.
Friday the 13th, all your crazy horror films growing up.
For me, it's Hellraiser.
Oh, Hellraiser! Oh, wow, yeah.
I cannot relate because I'm a scaredy cat.
Well, I haven't really been able to watch a lot of horror lately, just because like my wife she despises it, so I have to like sneak off and go watch it while she's watching her romantic comedy, you know. But,
the last horror movie that I watched was The Conjuring.
Oh,
And I was hiding behind the couch because it's so scary. So sorry, that's why I'm very scared, especially now it's Halloween. So yeah, I don't want to go out or go trick or treating. Yeah.
Well, it's not like you can at this point anyway. What with the typhoon, you'll blow all the kids away anyway.
Yeah. Candy will be flying everywhere.
Yeah. Be like air raid or something in the Second World War. Sweets coming down, bombing the area.
Yeah. So yeah, I want to try writing also horror films because I don't know how to scare people because I'm really scared. So yeah.
Yeah, it's always good to go and like just test out the other genres too. Like go out and do something different, like something that you never know might be like an awesome horror film director.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you can get over the fear, you never know.
Yes, yes. So I might try that. So yeah, I saw Rebel Child. Rebel Child is more of action or drama.
I would say Rebel Child is more of a drama.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I when I was right out of high school, I went into the U.S. Air Force.
Mm-hmm.
So I was in the Air Force for like 6 years, and it kind of like I kind of just like uh, took from that
Mm-hmm.
when I created Rebel Child.
Mm-hmm.
It actually was supposed to be a lot different than what it ended up being.
Mm-hmm.
But like that was actually my thesis film at AAU. But what
Okay.
happened with that film was I was trying to like raise some money, a lot of
Mm-hmm.
money to do like a lot of things that I wanted to do, like with the whole like war genre,
Mm-hmm.
the war film. I mean, and what happened was I didn't actually raise the amount of money that I needed to do what I was trying to do. So
Mm-hmm.
I ended up flipping and turning that movie into something totally different.
Okay.
I took all of the dialogue out, and I said I'm going to make sort of like a war opera, where it's just like like no dialogue, and this was able to tell the story
Mm-hmm.
through the actions in the film. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is from you wrote this from your experience, or you just
Uh, well, it wasn't like from any experience. Like I was lucky that when I was in the Air Force, there was no like conflict or anything
Mhm,
going on at the time. But
mhm,
I just wanted to tell like a story from a different perspective,
mhm.
because you see a lot of war films that end up being like propaganda.
Yes.
So what I wanted to do is just like tell it from the perspective of like a child um,
Mhm,
that's like being influenced by like a terrorist organization.
mhm.
So that's what I did. I like flipped the whole script when just by telling it from this perspective.
Okay, because especially here in the Philippines, I can relate because a lot of the terrorists here, especially down south of the Philippines, we have a lot of terrorists. So they recruit kids to do their bidding. So yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
when government forces special when they encounter these kids, they're at first they're hesitant to fire at them because they're kids.
yeah,
But they need to because or else there will be the one who will kill they'll be going home in the box. So yeah, it's
yeah.
really I'm very relatable to this your film actually, and
Oh, thanks.
and I
You
think
mentioned, oh no, you go first,
oh,
Raven.
go ahead.
All right. You mentioned one about how you were raising the money. Was this through crowdfunding, crowdsourcing? Kickstarter?
Yes, it was through crowdfunding, and it's like I would just say like what crowdfunding a lot of times it's like you have to have like a lot of family members or you have
Yeah,
people that you know with money.
Mhm,
friends. Yeah.
I mean, you can go out and try to get people to help you a lot of times, but it's difficult like raising money, like
Oh yeah. But
especially if you're not like a well-known name. Like if I was Spike Lee, I probably would raise the money in a day,
mm,
what?
yeah.
But I'm not. So it's a little more difficult when it comes to like raising money when you're just asking people for money, and they don't
But
know who you are.
all right. But you were saying that you didn't raise all the money and then you changed the film completely.
Yes.
But does that mean when you were pitching it originally, it was one thing, but when you had to change it to be something else, did you run into any problems with the people that invested the money saying, "Hey, I paid for this film, and you're giving me something different"? Did you have any of that problem? Because I've had a friend,
Mhm.
me and a friend, we were doing a crowdfunder a couple of years ago,
Yeah.
and eventually it didn't work out. And my colleague, he didn't want to run into this problem, so he actually refunded everybody. And I said to him, "Well,
Yeah.
would it really matter? Would we still be able to use the money for something else?" But he was reluctant because he didn't want to give people something different. So did you have that problem at all, or did you just still take the money and make the film regardless?
Well, I really didn't have any issues with people having a problem
Mm.
with it, because it actually came out better the way that we did it,
Yeah.
the second time around there. Um, yeah, so actually, and also like they didn't really know a lot of detail about exactly how I was going to do the film. They
mhm,
just had like a summary of what we were trying to do. But I would say the majority of the people that actually gave were like friends and family members. So, and like I actually had to put in some money myself also to like to do a little bit to make it happen. So yeah, actually, when it came out, they like I actually had pitched this to Diane Baker, I remember, and she was like really into, oh my God, she's like, because she had done some relief work in Afghanistan, and she was like, the idea itself was just like she just loved it. But like when I finished the film and actually they got to see it, some of the professors there at AAU got to see it. They were like, oh, this is what like pretty much film directors have to do. You have to take your resources, use whatever resources you have to like accomplish whatever you can, like to make a film, because you're not going to always have it the way, it's not going to always go the way that you want it to go. And that's just how it's going to be like throughout your whole career. You know, like we're always going to have like obstacles that's going to be in the way. It's just all about how do you overcome those obstacles, and still make a story. You know, how can you still tell that story? You know.
Yes. So I have a question. You said you were in the Air Force for 6 years. So
Yes.
How, what do you call this? What made you move to filmmaking?
Well, I would say like being in the Air Force, there was a lot of restriction of freedom. I would say, you know, you're supposedly fighting for freedom, but you're not really free yourselves. You actually are property of the government. So it's like I would say when I was in the Air Force, it was just like I just wanted to like venture out and be able to be free to do whatever I wanted to do. So I kind of left the Air Force. While I was in the Air Force, I used to be more of like a music producer. I produced like a ton of music. That's what I thought I was going to do, what I was going to be, because that like I love making music. And I got out and I was making music with one of my friends, Herb, who's like he's an editor in LA right now. Actually, he's working on some pretty cool stuff. He actually is like a AE at for Big Brother. I don't know if anybody knows about that, but yeah, right now, it's a show on CBS. Yeah,
we have Big Brother.
Yeah, but like he kind of like he kind of convinced me. He was like, hey, you know, like you do pretty well with putting music together. Why don't you should try like putting video together? Like you may be good at editing. So I started in undergrad. I started editing videos, and like I fell in love with like the whole film world. And I was like, oh wow, I can not just like make music, make people dance. I can actually create a whole world, create a whole vision, you know. And that kind of changed my course to where I wanted to go from there. I was like, oh, I want to be a filmmaker. You know, and for a while, editing helped me a lot when it comes to like directing, because now I can look at the scene and I can like, oh, I need this and I need that to make this this work. So yeah, I think that was a good start, just becoming an editor before being a director, because you have some directors that have come out and they've never edited before. And they haven't done their research, and then they're up there, they're bossy, telling people everything what to do, you know, like, but they haven't done it themselves, or they don't have the experience to even like know what type of lighting you would need, or like what a good shot would look like, you know. So good composition. So I think like that's something that helps, just being an editor first.
So we have the same. I started as an editor first. And somebody told me, "Hey, you need to. You're great in editing. So why not try your chances to being a director?" I said, "No, I can't. No, you need." So that's why I went to AAU to learn. Because at first I wasn't confident to be a director, and I'm just happy in the comfort of my editing bay, and only the producer or the director is with me. But yeah, that's why when I see the first when I tried directing in the US, and it's very scary also. It's in the US, you're a foreigner, and people might think you want to talk to them, you want to convey your vision, but you cannot convey it directly because you need to translate it from Filipino to English. So
Yeah.
yeah, it was we have the same from the
Same
edit
problems, yeah.
to
Yeah. Yeah, I think the thing that made me want to like become a director also is just like being an editor for a while and just having these people bring this crappy footage in. It's like, oh, take, turn water into wine. And it's like, okay, let me see if I can turn this water into wine. You know, but you have those issues all the time as an editor. You have people standing over your shoulder and they want you to like create miracles. And it's just like
yes,
I was like, well, I can actually probably bring in some better footage than this. And, if this is what they're doing.
yes,
But like my first experience directing like wasn't the best experience really myself either. Like
yeah,
I wasn't ready, and like I tried to like direct the crew of people, and I lost control of my set. Like there were people like it just was a disaster.
Trial
And
by
actually,
fire, yeah.
yeah. And it's actually for the film like Lose Prey, one of the film that was in like that I did like it. Yeah, it actually the first time I tried to shoot that, it didn't come out well at all. It's like I think we shot maybe 2 scenes, and I was like, okay, I'll have to go back to the drawing board. There's no way that this is going to be a good film.
yeah. Yeah, Loose Spray. Is it here? I am going to play it. So yeah, can you tell us about Loose Spray? Is it a Chinese mafia or?
Well, no, actually, it's a horror movie with like a sort of like a gangster horror movie.
Okay.
Yeah, it's about like a hitman who's like searching for this guy who stole some money from the crime boss,
Mhm.
and basically, so it basically has like a twist ending to it when the hitman finally catches up to the guy. So,
But you don't want to
yeah.
give it away.
Yeah. I would like people to go check it out, like
Yeah.
go look at it, and
Yeah.
see what it's all about. But that was like I would probably say when I first got to AAU, I just
Yes.
like I was like a lot of people everyone was like, oh, we're gonna wait to do our thesis film. Yeah, I'm gonna wait for my thesis film, and I was like, I'm not gonna wait for my thesis film.
Mm.
I'm here to make films. I'm gonna get a bunch of people together, and we're gonna do something. And that's
Uh,
where I went out and I just like recruited a bunch of people. I went everywhere. I was like talking to people in the nightclubs and everything. Like, hey, you want to help me on this film? And I just got I went there and like it was actually the first time I had really directed a crew
mhm.
of that size. It's like I got to the set and like my producer
Yes.
Stefano Gonzalez is really really good guy. Um,
Mhm.
but like my producer at the time, he went out, he got all of these people, like he brought in a
Yes.
bunch of people, and like I
Okay.
get to the set on the first day, and there's like 40 or 50 people just standing
Oh.
around everywhere, and I'm like, wow! I was like, oh my god, I was not,
Overwhelmed.
yeah, I was overwhelmed. I wasn't even expecting that.
Yeah.
And it turned out pretty well. Like, but that one thing about that film I would say is that's when I really learned, that the truth when it comes about filmmaking, that that it's not going to be easy all the time. Like,
Yes.
I was really thinking like, oh, this is going to be easy, because
Mhm.
when I made this film, like the first film festival I actually submitted to, I got into, and it was like a film festival in Hollywood, and I'm like, oh wow, I'm gonna make it, like wow, this
Yeah.
is like the first film festival I put into, and I
Yeah.
get into Hollywood, and I'm like, oh,
Yes.
it's gonna be this way all the time, and it's definitely not that way all the time. You get like
Yes.
tons of
Definitely.
rejection letters. Like I
Yeah.
have like
Yes.
piles of rejection letters for films that I've
Yes.
submitted. So it was like one of the things that really showed me the light.
Yes. But those
So it was like
rejection.
your Citizen Kane, basically. You hit it big first time, and
Yeah.
like Orson Welles' career, it went
Oh
down.
yeah.
Fortunately, it hasn't gone. Fortunately, your career hasn't gone as bad.
Yeah.
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 Especially those rejection letters will help
Mm.
you. What do you call this? Stronger, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like motivation.
humble.
Yeah.
Motivate.
Yeah, to motivate you to just keep going, because I mean
Yes.
you're gonna get rejected. Like
Mm.
unless
Yes.
you like know like your cousin is Brad Pitt or something. Like,
Yes.
I mean, and if you look at Hollywood, a lot of times, like a lot
Yeah.
of people that are successful in Hollywood, a lot of
Mhm.
them are like related to people
Yeah.
that have been doing it for a long period of time.
Long
So
period,
it's
yes.
almost like a royal family, and you have to try to get into it.
Bit of
Yes.
a mafia, yeah.
Yeah.
There's also the bribing of people as
Oh
well.
yeah, yeah. The bribing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very hard. Yeah, especially what I learned also being director is there's gonna be a problem anytime anything that you what do you call this you
Face.
you uh no praise you oh shit sorry uh you designed everything planned everything
Oh yeah.
then on the day of the shoot there's
Everything
something
goes wrong.
gonna
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
so yeah you need to adapt
Mm.
also. I learned that the driver is not available, so
Mm.
so oh go get another car, a different car.
Or you have like a scene that you have that you have set for maybe 30 extras and only 3 or 4 of them show up.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, that actually happened to me in Rebel Child. Like we had
Um,
20 extras to be like out there, and they were like, "Oh, we don't have any." I actually started dressing up some of the crew members. Like, okay, hey, we're gonna throw a uniform on you.
or you use the same people. You use the same people over and over again. Just
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
make them wear different clothes or something. Yeah.
I
yeah.
also do that to my crew. Oh, you're even the caterer said, "Oh, you're not doing anything, right?
Oh yeah,
Can
yeah.
you?"
But a lot of PAs ended up being extras.
Yes, yes. Yeah, it will help you solve problems.
Oh yeah,
Because if you just melt down, because I know a lot of directors that once they have problems there, they just melt down,
yeah,
shouting. Me, I don't. Okay, do this. Let's do this. Let's plan what to do. What's the problem? What's the
yeah,
problem? Let's solve it. Let's solve
yeah.
it together. Yeah.
Yeah,
Then
there's always a solution. There's always
yes,
definitely always a solution.
and also it's the good thing about us as editor also we're editing on the fly, so we're
Oh
shooting it or we're already editing it. Oh yeah, I don't need this scene, so let's remove this.
yeah.
But how do you both cope with headaches? Because whenever I've directed, I'm always getting splitting headaches because I'm thinking, right, I've got to work this shot to make sure that it works with the next shot, and I just get completely jumbled and it just splitting headaches. Do you guys ever? Do you have like aspirin or something on set or something, or do you never get
Oh,
headaches?
I don't really get headaches. I had one time I was on set and I like had this like stomach issue. It was like hurt, like my stomach just started all the stress, I guess.
Oh, that would be the
caused-
butterflies.
Yeah, caused me to have so much pain in my stomach. Like I was like, oh my God, what is this? Am I gonna have to go to the emergency room? Like I just took some Pepto Bismol and drank it down, and then I was okay. Let's go.
For me, I when I because I'm in the zone once I'm shooting, especially when I'm shooting, I'm in the zone. So I sometimes it's just like a tunnel vision, so I don't get headaches. I'm so excited to do. I love shooting actually, so
Yeah.
that's why. Oh, I need to do this, need to do this, need to do that. So yeah,
Yeah.
and when there's a problem, I talk to my producer and to my cinematographer. So what remedy can we do without this? Because like, oh, the lights got busted. So what can I do? What are we gonna do? Oh, there's a street lamp, so let's use that. Okay, we go under the street lamp. So yeah, because because the producer and the cinematographer are fighting already. No. We can still fix this. We can fix it. Don't worry, don't worry. So yeah, for especially for as an editor, yeah, I can fix this in once I'm editing it. So yeah,
Oh,
that's why.
the old fix it in post thing. Like, yeah, I try my hardest not to do. I hear that word like on set, like fix it.
Yes,
Oh no.
we can fix that.
But,
It is possible. It's just not desirable.
oh yeah,
Yes, yes. Like one time we shot in a place where there's a lot of logos everywhere. So said, oh my God, we need to remove everything. so so my visual editor was furious at me. So why did you go through with this? I know you can do it. So you so you can do it. No, no, I'll buy you Jollibee later. Okay. Okay.
That's all it takes.
Yeah.
You got a great crew.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. You just need to because I what they call this, especially here in the Philippines, there's a lot of directors who are very like a Nazi director. So I'm used to it, but for me, I don't want to be like that. So
Oh
I want
yeah.
to be one of their
Easygoing.
friends. Yeah,
Yeah,
easy.
I
Yeah.
want. Yeah, I also want the editor to be happy with me, not like angry,
Yes. Yeah.
cursing me out the whole. I just know it. I just being an editor. I just remember those times, fix it in
Yes.
post times, and people giving me stuff. I'm like, oh, you really expect me to fix this? You know?
Yes. Yes.
You
So
probably get like the patronizing sort of director as well, saying, "Oh, you're a great editor. You'll be able to sort it out." It's
Oh
like,
yeah.
don't patronize me. This is it. Yeah.
me, I was a no. I'm an editor also. So yeah,
Yeah.
we can do it. We can do it. I'll push it a little bit. We can do it. We can do it. Oh, it's like this. So they said, why can't you do it? Okay, I'll do it first. Then you do it. You finish it. Okay. Okay. So
Yeah.
yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, I've definitely had to edit some really, really bad stuff in the past. You know, especially when I first started editing, I was like, oh, I mean, I'm not going to talk about this like what a television series I used to edit like back in the days, but it was pretty like no preparation. Just like, I mean, there was a scene one time that I had to edit where the actor actually quit like midway through the show, and they brought in another actor, and they brought him in and put him in position of the other actor, and they did like it was just like, oh, he just picked up where the other guy left off, and I'm like, how is this possible? Like,
Or was it Doctor Who or something regenerated?
oh yeah, it's like how do we do this? Like, how do you bring a whole other actor in to play the same role as another actor,
Yes.
and expect it just to be okay, you know?
So
Feel that it
did
was all
it
a
change?
dream or something. I don't know.
Yeah, dream
Yeah.
sequence. Oh, that I was really this guy, you know,
Yeah.
not the other guy that quit the set.
So they didn't change the story, like introduce
uh,
this new character now.
no, it was just a new guy came in. I was like, hold up, who is this guy? Like, oh, he's the actor who took the other guy's place. No.
It was like magic. Oh, look.
Did the replacement actor at least look like the previous one, or was it so blatantly
No,
obvious?
it was blatantly obvious. Yeah, like I think the first guy may have been a blonde guy. This guy was like a red-headed guy with hairdo was different. Everything.
So I guess you had to do a lot of color correcting.
Yeah.
So yeah, before that, we have somebody's going to greet us. So yes.
Hello,
Hi,
Danny.
Donnie. He's
I
a
got it.
director from Japan.
It was last week's
yeah.
guest as well.
Last week's guest. Yeah.
Awesome. Hey, Donnie, how's it going?
Yeah. So yeah.
He's like,
So-
he's knocking on the window, just saying, "Can I join?" or something. Can I be the next guest?
Yeah. So yeah, what from what you say, you also work with the tech companies. So can you
Yeah.
share something about that?
Well, yeah, I would say, I mean, I'm a filmmaker, and I love like being a filmmaker, but I still like a majority. I have to pay the bills, you know. So,
Yes, true.
so one way that I started actually producing content for a couple different tech companies. Actually, I started out as a content manager at Google. And then from there, like when I first got there, like I actually worked on an original content team for for VR content that all of the VR content that they created at Google back in like I would say 2018. So I came in as to manage all of that content, and like we were working on some really, really awesome content. Like I mean, we did a live VR live stream of Coachella. I mean, there was Saturday Night Live. actually started doing a VR set like every week. So I actually helped manage the content for that, and like a lot of different really cool things. And from there, it was like when I first got there at Google, I would say that they like actually had me doing spreadsheets, and it was like, okay, so this guy's like he's kind of like he has a little more skills than just for doing sheets. So maybe we should like allow him to venture out and do a little bit more, you know. And so basically, I started producing. I produced a couple of VR pieces while I was on that team, and then from there, I actually transitioned to start producing other content there. All right, so I started actually producing content for a couple of different teams, and I ended up actually start producing content for Google Developer Studios, which is like the developer channel for all of like the developers like around the globe. It's actually a go-to spot for them to get a lot of information. So on developing like developing software and things of that nature. I actually at this time I'm producing at Apple for IST Web, which is the global instructional content for all of the internal employees at Apple. I create content for that. But I'm actually going back to Google like a couple of weeks. I'll be going back to work at Google Developer Studios as a producer there to produce content, which is really like I'm really excited about that. Getting to produce a lot content like in a lot of different places, you know. So
can I join you?
Yeah.
It's very hard.
Yeah, it's hard. It's very difficult. Like I would say, it's difficult to get in there, but like you know, like I know like quite a few good people. Like
I'll send you my resume. Okay?
But I'm actually a contractor though. One thing that about a lot of tech companies is that you like kind of work for the company, but you really don't work for the company. Like I'm a contractor. So yeah.
So you're just a contractor in like Google. You're not.
Well,
really,
I'm not a Googler per se, or like I'm not an Appler or per se, but yeah, I actually like work for the company and do the same work, but I'm really not under their umbrella.
Oh, okay.
I am under their umbrella. I'm just not holding the umbrella, I guess you would say. Yeah.
So you said you shot with VR. So is it different from, because VR is like this 360? It's a 360 view. So not like one single camera that's focused. It's just like that. So is it different from the usual?
VR is definitely a lot different than shooting like regular 2D content. I would just say because it's more of creating an experience more than like trying, like you can tell a story in VR, but you don't have like a lot of time to tell that story. It's more about like trying to put the audience in like into an experience that they're like experiencing, like a visual experience, I would say. So there are a lot of things that you can get away with in filmmaking you can't really get away with in VR, like a lot of camera moves that you would do in regular filmmaking. You can't do some of those camera moves because it might make someone dizzy, or might make someone throw up. There are some people that like they get motion sickness from VR. So you have to always like have that in account, like what type of camera movements can you do that to make it work. Also, it's like you have to think that you're putting someone like in an environment, so your visuals have to be like really amazing and stunning, or it's going to be just flat. It's just going to fall flat. Like I've seen like some VR content that I put the VR goggles on and I'm like, oh my God, this is like an experience is so awesome. And then there's other times like this really didn't need to be in VR, you know.
I suppose also with VR, you lose certain type of shots that you would get in a regular film. Like, say, for
Yeah.
example, if the character's walking down the street and
Yeah.
a sniper is far away on another building,
Yeah.
taking aim at them, obviously we can't have that because you're pretty much playing the main character, so you'll never know. It'll have to be through the main character's perspective.
Yeah.
So you might maybe get a little flash of light in the corner from the sniper rifle, but so I guess you lose certain story beats as a result. But in a way, I guess it makes you a little bit more creative that you have to find alternatives.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's like a lot less cutting on the cutting floor. You know, it's like you do a lot of that, like just in creating the content itself.
Yeah,
I guess. It's like like you were saying, you don't want to like cut to a total different like area. I mean, you can do that. You can you can do it if you found a way creatively to pull that off. But but it's definitely a lot different. I would say. I'm actually planning to work on a VR piece like pretty soon. So yeah, I just want to. I mean, I like to get into like a lot of different things. So yeah, but like VR is definitely. I thought it was like when I first started getting into VR, I was like, oh, this is the new thing, the next best thing coming up. But it's like people. It's still like creators still haven't figured it out. Like how to get an audience watching a lot of VR content. You know, gaming is very popular with gaming. It's just like film wise, it's just like they're still trying to figure out like how do we get more people to watch VR content, you know?
Yes. Lately also I saw a lot of in YouTube, a lot of because I also do reviews in cars and motorcycles. But a lot of I saw a lot of content now using the 360 cameras, like they're traveling. I think that works for traveling shows, like
it does.
riding a motorcycle. But if you're just moving around or something, it's a bit dizzy. I got dizzy when I was watching.
It's like I also think it's a problem with the hardware too. You know, like everyone who wants to like put on these goggles and like wear them for like for an hour at a time. You know, like like when they figure that out, you know, they figure out some way to like portray everything like maybe it without you having to wear those funky goggles. I think that it might be something that'd be cool, you know.
So have you tried editing also with the 360 to VR? I think it's hard.
I've done that in VR through 360. Also VR 180. They don't call it like editing. It's actually I'm trying to think of the word for it now.
Splicing.
Yes, splicing. It's not splicing. It's another word for it. But like it's 4:30 in the morning, so it's kind of hard for me to
throw random words at you. Sliding, pushing, inserting.
Yeah.
But yeah, I learned how to do a lot of that, like posting with VR content, like adding in graphics and actually cutting stuff together in VR. Yeah, because I was like, oh, this is going to be something big, so I just wanted to make sure I was on top of it. But you know, it's not actually as big as I thought it was going to be. So, but it's good to have that skill set in the back pocket.
I'll give it time. I'm sure it will.
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially now with the advances in technology, maybe in less than 2 years, maybe there's something we might see a full-length film shot in VR, I think, 360. It's gonna be immersive. People are like looking, oh, what's happening?
I can only imagine how large that file would be, though. Oh my god!
Yes.
Probably look into the story as well. Do a remake of Lawnmower Man or something.
Yeah, especially with what movie was that? The time machine that goes far. And the protagonist was in the 18th century, but
You're talking about H.G. Wells' Time Machine?
Yes, that one.
All right.
I was so impressed with that, going from different timeline in his chair, that moving. It was. I hope we can make a 3D, a 360 view of like that. Oh, everything is moving, because I saw one scene. He was like looking down, and what they call this, the soil is changing, the fire, everything is changing. So yeah, it's maybe Juan will be the one making that future film next time. So yeah, maybe there's a future of that. Adam,
Yeah.
I'm yeah. What else? So for Apple, what do you go? Are you going to do the same in Apple, like 360 VR like that?
Oh well, no. I'm like I produce like regular, like just like regular content there at Apple. Yeah, it's like really like more like instructional content when it comes to like yeah for the internal employees there.
Okay.
Yes, that's what I was doing there.
Okay. So was it fun also working with Apple? They do give you
Well, yeah,
products.
I would say like producing like at tech companies is a sort of is similar to like directing almost. You know, like you have like to wear a lot of hats. You go in and you pretty much wrangle like all of the from the content from all the way from coming up with the concept to like to so in some instances you may actually go all the way from creating the concept all the way to like editing the material yourself and throwing in the graphics yourself. It's just it's sort of like directing. I would say but just like especially like for most of the tech companies, it's like directing. It's a lot of wrangling, a lot of like talking with a lot of meetings with a lot of different people just to make it work. So that's one thing I would say that's different from like producing content at the tech companies and like directing a film. It's just like you're going in and you're making sure you're making everything happen, but you're
Yes.
like like but you're a lot more involved. You like even though you may have a team of people, you're still going to be involved in like every well a lot of times when I'm directing, I'm involved in all the processes anyway. Like yeah, I'll sit down with
From
an editor.
pre-prod to
Yeah,
post. Yes.
yeah, but yeah, that's pretty much what I would say. And like this, I would say the formatting of some things are different too. You know, it's like you might write like script writing it for like a video for a Google developer may be a lot different from like writing a script with dialogue and
Yes.
action and all of that good stuff. You know.
I think it's
Yeah.
more technical. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
and there's a lot of jargons in that.
Yeah. It's all yeah. That's one thing too. Just learning the jargon and the language and like, and then there's a lot of branding things you have to like that you have to put into place as well.
Yeah.
Just making sure that you're in line with with their branding, and making sure that everything is like you're representing them. So you have to
Yeah.
make sure that everything is like tip top, like very detail oriented, like on top of the details. You know.
Yes.
But I take it with each assignment, they give you like a bullet point list of what they want and don't want, for example, or is it we just want you to make something based on this, go nuts? Is it, or do they
Oh,
have like a list of requirements?
Well, it varies depending on what they want. Like sometimes you may have like I mean you work with different clients. Like you might be working with external partners or internal. So you have it's the same when we're working clients with clients in like a freelance environment where you have some that like they might be hands on like the whole time and like they want like
They won't leave you alone.
yeah
Yeah.
they won't leave you alone. They're calling you like, oh hey, I want to put this in. We want to do this and do that. Then you have others that are just like happy with whatever you do for them. You know,
Yes.
it's the same way. You know, like you still have like to deal with clients on like a lot of different levels and like work on when you're working on stuff. Yeah, for the tech companies.
Yeah. Do they give you some hardwares also, like Mac Pro also?
Yeah. They normally provide you with some equipment to use. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, because I mean, if I was doing some of the stuff I had to do on like, because I mean, I still like I have a MacBook Pro, but you know, like it's not as updated as the one that I use for work. So yeah,
Yeah. Also me. I'm also like you. I'm also working for a tech company here in the
yeah.
Philippines. So yeah, it's American company. So
Oh yeah, yeah. You were telling me about that.
yeah, I handle 7 artists. So you
Oh wow, yeah.
and we cater for Asia Pacific and the US and Europe. So we have a lot of coming in stakeholders, clients. We treat them as clients that
Yeah.
I want to do something like this, like that, and we do the subtitles of all the languages. So
Oh
yeah,
wow, yeah.
so yeah, it's yeah, that's why I can relate also to you because it's a lot of jargon. So
Oh yeah.
when when I'm talking to an IT person, so I want this, blah blah, and this and this and this and that. I was like, what was that? I didn't get you. So can you help me understand it so I can relate it in video so the people watching it is gonna understand it also. Because for
Oh yeah.
me, I don't understand it right now. So maybe the people who are gonna watch it will never understand it also.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, and I live in Silicon Valley, so it's like there's not a lot of
Mm,
film job opportunities out here. I would say
mm.
there are a few, but they're like I mean there's way more tech companies out here than film production companies. So
So yeah, any future do you want any
Do you have any
projects or
projects lined up or anything?
line up?
yeah, actually, like I was saying, I'm working on I'm working on a VR piece. We don't
Mhm,
not sure about exactly info on that one yet, but
mhm,
I'm working on a feature film
mhm.
called Easy Lick, which is it's a horror film, another horror.
Okay.
Actually, just to give you a little insight about it, it's about like some young boys who are all going through financial hardships, and
Mhm.
they're all friends, and they actually get some info about an easy money attempt, basically like to burglarize this old blind deaf man, and
Okay.
but when they actually go to do the job, they find out that what they've heard about this old blind deaf man isn't actually. They discover that it's something totally different going on at this place
Oh,
that they go into. Um,
okay.
so yeah, so that was one I've been working on for like a while, and just trying to get funding for it. But I've in this day and climate, it's a lot harder. It's going to be a lot more difficult to get funding
Yes.
for anyone because if you like think about it, like in LA, like a lot of these big distribution companies, big companies are actually they have like films in the backlog now
Mhm.
because they weren't able to release a lot of things, and it's like, oh, they're not going to be eager to just throw money into something brand new, like right
Yeah.
now when they have all these other things that they already had on their table. So we
Yes.
have that issue. But like if you want to know more about that film,
Mhm.
actually there I have a website. It's called www.easylickmovie.com, and
Easy link. Mhm.
yeah, Easy Lick Movie, yeah,
Okay.
.com,
Mhm.
and that I'm working on that, and I'm also working on a short film because it's a lot easier to direct and create a short film when you don't have to really worry about budget constraints with short films. I would say it's a lot easier because I can actually go in and maybe throw a little budget in myself to pull that off. But I'm working on a film called Hangman, which is actually also a horror film. I'm working with one of my old classmates from AAU, Kepler
Mhm.
Batiz. I don't know if anyone knows him, but
Mhm.
we're working on that. It's actually a horror film that's gonna be like that has like social justice like kind of interweaved into it. So it's
Mhm.
like really gonna be really something different, I would say. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, best of
Yeah.
luck with both of them.
Yeah,
Yes.
so thanks. Yeah, and if anyone does want to donate to my feature, you can go to easylitmovie.com, and there's actually somewhere for you to donate to the film on there.
Easy
We'll be
link.
sure to put the links in the YouTube description when we upload it
Okay.
to YouTube.
All right. Awesome. Yeah, and
Easylinkmovies.com.
yeah, and yeah, easylit, EASYLICK movie.com.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, if you want to check out any of my films, like I like all the many films that I've done, um, you can go to my website, www.juan-davis.com, and there are links to pretty much almost all of my films except one that I actually have in festivals right now. So that one's not up right now. So.
Okay. So
Out
yeah.
of curiosity, have you been to any? Because you were talking about distributors and things like that. Have you been to like the film markets, like the Berlinale one or Cannes, because I've been to those myself, and
Oh yeah.
I've managed to get some work by attending them, but few and far between. But it's better than nothing. But have you done any of those?
Yeah, I've actually I've been to AFM, the film market here in LA. Yeah, I went to I've been to AFM. Like the main thing about those, I would say, is to go ahead and make sure you get a lot of meetings like before you go. That's one thing that I've learned. Like just I learned from Patricia, who's actually I don't know if you remember Patricia Paulak.
Yes, I know her.
Yeah, but she's actually helping me with the Easy Lick movie. She's been very helpful, like with that. She was the one who actually gave me the idea and said, "Hey, you should," because she saw my short and she was like, "Oh, you should definitely turn that into a feature." So actually, that's where I actually wrote the feature because of her. And she was and she's also been helping me try to get funding for that as well. So, because she has a lot of experience in distribution.
Is it hard from making from a short film moving it towards the feature film? Is it hard to stretch it?
I would say not really that difficult, just because a lot of times when you do these short films, you have like a backstory in mind for each of your characters and all of that stuff.
Okay.
With this one though, it's a little different, I would say, because I ended up changing up the whole storyline. It's some of the elements are the same, but it's like I was like, oh, for me to make this a feature, I have to do things a lot differently. So, yeah.
Yes. Right. So I also saw Patricia. You just told them Patricia. Patricia, I know her because
Yeah.
she also the one told me to join these films. She gave me a lot of links so that I can
Yeah.
submit Christmas bonus before. So
Yeah, she's definitely very, very, a very good person. Like I really like. She helps out a lot. So she helps out like a majority of her students that she used to have at AAU. She
yes.
definitely reaches out and try to help.
Until now, she's reaching out for me.
Yeah.
He messaged me. So a quick shout out to Patricia. Say
Hey,
hi.
Patricia.
Either I've completely forgotten or she was after my time. So apologies if I've forgotten her.
Yeah. She actually got a student to like she helped the student win an Academy Award at AAU. So
Really?
yeah, she did. Yeah.
What movie was that?
It was an animated short
Oh,
film. I can't remember the name of it right now off the top of my
okay.
head. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Juan, that was thank you for sharing all your stories and how you're working as in a tech company. It was great and thank you for your time. I know it's too early in there in that part of the world.
Catch up on your
Oh,
sleep now.
yeah. I'm definitely going back to sleep. I'm gonna climb back into bed very soon.
Yeah.
Thank you for taking part. It's been fun.
So yeah, thank you so much for being here with us in PinoyChap, giving your insights, giving your your expertise, sharing your
Yeah,
expertise to us.
I really appreciate y'all inviting me. Like definitely looking forward to his future
Yes.
stuff that
Next
you guys are doing.
yes. Once you're doing with the Easy League, we'll invite you again next time.
Awesome, yeah, and like we can always talk about collaborating on something maybe
Yes.
one
Yes.
day in the future.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
always down to collaborate with people. So yeah,
Yeah, me too. I love to collaborate.
yeah.
Like this PinoyChap, I was just collaborating with Adam, and boom.
Yeah, because we've been attached to film projects for past 2 years now, and
Yes.
well, circumstances we just haven't got round to it yet. So budgets, things like that.
Yeah.
So
Oh, yeah. Yeah, budget's always the issues. It's always a issue.
Speaking of, before you go, somebody's gonna say hi. So,
Hello, hey,
hi, Ella.
how's it going?
Hope you can join us next time.
Oh yeah, love your profile pic there.
So, yeah, Adam, any words?
other than thank you again, Juan, for taking part, and thank you everyone out there for watching and commenting.
All
Yes.
right.
Okay.
So like
Thank you,
and
Juan.
share.
All right. Thanks.
Thank you, Juan, and we'll hope we'll invite you next time in our future shows.
All right. Awesome. I definitely would love. I'd love to come back. All right.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
Yeah.
Don't forget to like and subscribe in our Facebook and YouTube, and please do share it. We love to inspire the filmmakers, so like us, Juan, Adam, and me, who started from everyone started from nothing. So yeah,
Yeah.
we come. I never thought that I'm gonna be a director. Even Juan never thought he's gonna be a director. So yeah, he started from I think music, composing music. Now look, he's creating films and videos for tech companies. So yeah, the one of the purpose of this show is collaborating and inspiring a lot of future filmmakers and Filipinos out there who wants to be in this industry. Yeah, that's it.
That was very noble and very inspiring. Yeah, but no, it was a good way to end on it.
Yes. Yeah. Watch out for our next episode. We're gonna bring different filmmaker also. So he's watch out. Just watch out because we're going to release a teaser for him. So yes. Same time. It's 8:30 p.m. in Philippine time, and in your
Yeah,
time 12:30 since it's daylight saving time.
yeah, it only happens twice a year, so I'm used to the new time now.
Okay. Yeah. So thank you guys. Hope to watch us again next Sunday.